Alrighty, it's currently Saturday, April 4th, 2026, and it's finally the day to be starting our giant pumpkin seeds for the 2026 season. I'm going to try to get to 2,000 pounds this year. The seeds that I'm growing is the 1986 Turner, the 2227 Stelts, and my backups are going to be the 650 Clements. So let me just show you how I get those started real quick. Alrighty, so the first thing I do is I label the seeds just with a Sharpie so I know that when I put them in the water, I know which one is which. And then one things that I'll sometimes do, you don't have to, is just file the edges a little bit because these pumpkin seeds are really strong. So just along the edge, you can have like a little nail file. Do not sand the tip though, because that's where the root will come out. So just like that outside edge, just a little bit till you see the white. If you do decide to do that, it helps the water get in faster, helps it germinate quicker. But after you've got all your seeds labeled and sanded, then you just pop them in a glass of warm water. And then I like to let them sit for about an hour. Some people do way more, some people do way less. I've found that an hour is good without drowning them. So just let those soak in there. Put a paper towel over top of it just to keep them in the water. Make sure they're pushed down so you can see that they're underneath now. And after those have soaked for an hour, you can get your mix ready, and I'll show you how I do that. I'm starting in these gallon pots right here. Okay, this is everything that I'm using to start my seeds this year. Instead of a seed starting mix this year, I decided to switch to black gold seedling mix, which is similar but different per recommendation of the Turner Ranch. But basically I'm just gonna pour some of that into the bucket at my amendments, which I'll explain later, and find the right moisture, and then I'll put it into those pots. Okay, I've added pretty close to, I don't know, a few cups of water to this. And I think I've got it to the proper moisture. You can see how fine the perlite is in there. But if you're wondering the proper way, how to check to see if your soil has the right moisture, you're just gonna take like a small handful of it, squeeze it as hard as you can. You see about one, well, it's probably a little wet, so I'll add a little more, but you should see about one drop of water barely come out of there, right there. But I'll add a little more dirt to this, but the next thing I'm gonna do is take some of this Azos, beneficial bacteria, just sprinkle it in there. It's pretty good. Some of this Mycos, mycorrhizae, sprinkle that in there. And then got some of this great white rooting hormone that I will also sprinkle in there. All right, now that I've got everything added in, add a little more soil. Let's check the moisture again. There's the one drop running down my finger. Perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and scoop that into the 6 pots right there and get it over on that tray. Got all the pots full, so let's bring it up to my room and we'll get the seeds in there. All right, the seeds have been soaking for about an hour. I made these little tags for so I know which one is in which pot. I'm just gonna make a few, like a small hole, to put the seeds in. Got them on the heating mats. Don't want to go too deep, but that's probably good. Okay, so I'll stuck to the paper towel. All right, so start with the 650s. Some people like to put them tip down, some people like to put them on their side. Don't put them like that since that's where the root pops up. I like putting on the side because as the root comes out, then it'll pull the seed coat off as it germinates. So just pat that down a little bit. There's the other 650. We'll do the 2227s next. And finally the 1986. I'm gonna be like focusing on this seed this year. got all my amendments ready, and I'm gonna focus on this patch, and the 1986 or the 2227 is gonna be in like another garden that I'm probably gonna spend less time on overall and less money, but hopefully it still turns out well. Okay, so that is the seeds for 2026 ready to go. Now one more thing I like to do, so that it doesn't dry out, is just take some plastic wrap and like fold it over on top of itself, and you can put it over top and like that so the water doesn't come out. And yeah, I'll make an update when these germinate in hopefully 3-4 days. Yeah, happy growing. Good luck this year, everyone.